This is an espresso machine, arguably one of the most widely used coffee machines in the market, with almost all coffee roasters offering their coffees in an espresso-compatible capsule. It claims to produce espresso, but how can a $188 machine produce espresso as good as professional espresso machines that cost thousands of dollars? Hello beautiful people, it's your queen of random content, Marcus, and in today's video, we will be reviewing the coffee produced by my Nespresso Essenza Mini to see if it tastes any good or just downright bad. Some questions I have about this machine is Nespresso coffee espresso? Like, can this coffee be considered espresso? And how does it compare to other traditional homebrew methods such as the French press or V60 pour over method? Well, keep on watching and stick to the end of this video where I'll share my final thoughts on this skinny legend and whether or not you should buy one. But yeah, let's get right into it. So first of all, how does it work? I have to say that it is extremely easy to use. All you have to do is fill it up with some water, pop in a capsule and pull the lever, and then press a button to get some coffee. It can produce a 40 ml espresso or a 110 lungo, which is a shot of espresso with more water, aka it's less concentrated. I have both of them here with me so you can kind of see the difference in amount that this machine makes. But I'm also curious, how exactly does this machine work? So looking at the capsule, it punctures the hole here and injects water into the pod with a claimed 19 bars of pressure to extract the coffee from the grounds in the capsule. First of all, that is an excessive amount of pressure because normal espresso usually needs like 9 bars, but this is 19 bars of pressure going through this pod. Just kind of curious to see what's inside. It's very packed in there, I think kind of like simulating an espresso puck. So now that we know how it works, it's quite interesting because I've left this out for a while now because I'm kind of like filming the intro and everything, so I made this beforehand. You can still see this layer of crema that is traditionally an espresso drink. So the next question is Nespresso espresso? Here's where it gets a little tricky because the definition of espresso by the Specialty Coffee Association and the Italian National Espresso Institute, yeah, I did not know that there were institutes governing like the rules of coffee. So on paper, you could consider an espresso coffee because it's putting coffee beans through a lot of pressure, but because there are so many rules by the association, we can't classify it under an espresso. Hence the name Nespresso, because it is a form of espresso, but not quite espresso. Okay, enough of the technical stuff. You guys are here to know, how does this taste? I will be very honest with you, I don't ever have it like black. I always put some sugar and have some milk with my coffee, but I will be drinking this in an espresso form for you right now. Okay, so is it as intense and full-bodied as an espresso? No, but is it good? Yeah. It is a weaker coffee compared to an espresso, but it still tastes very pleasant. It's medium-bodied, very well extracted. The crema kind of elevates the flavor of the coffee by producing a very nice tactile mouthfeel and aroma, which an espresso has done like a lot of research over. So the crema actually really changes your drinking experience, which I prefer over a French press coffee. And I've actually done a video where I blind taste test espresso and a French press coffee using the same coffee beans. I will link that video in the description box below. You can watch that after you're done watching this one. But essentially what I found in that video is that Nespresso is a step up from your instant coffees and even French press coffee. In terms of like extraction and taste profiles, they're very similar. Because of the way it creates the coffee and creates like the crema and putting it through a lot of pressure, it definitely has a very different mouthfeel. It's more velvety compared to the French press coffee. However, comparing it to like your filter pour overs, I don't think Nespresso will be replacing that anytime soon, because when I try to brew this coffee with more like fruity or floral flavors, they just come out a bit dull and kind of not extracted as well. You really need like the pour over technique that really captures fruity and floral flavors beautifully, which the Nespresso can't do as of yet. I think it really boils down to where you get your Nespresso capsules from, because the Nespresso ones, they have a very weird cereal aftertaste, which I'm not a fan of. James Hoffman recently like taste tested every single Nespresso capsule, and I agree with him. There's just a very weird cereal or malty flavor in like all of them. They kind of all taste very similar. So I don't recommend getting the Nespresso capsules. You can get your capsules from like NTUC. NTUC has an entire like Starbucks wall of coffee. Like they have a bunch of Starbucks capsules, which are kind of inexpensive. I would say they're like $7.30 for 10 capsules. You can also get coffees from your local coffee roasters. My personal favorite is All Press Coffee. I love the ART blend. My mom loves it, and my friend's mom and my friends also love it. So I always like buy this for them for their machines because all they drink is the Nespresso capsules. And I'm like, y'all, there is a whole world of other flavors from like different coffee roasters doing all these weird flavors. And if they think those like mediocre, crappy tasting capsules taste good, when they tried one from a local roastery, their minds were blown. So don't limit yourself to just pods from the Nespresso brand. This video isn't sponsored by them, but I do use them and I love their selection of coffee. You can check out drinkmorning.com for a curated supply of coffee capsules all over the world. I recently got the Roast Ed from Cafe Nation. It's a roastery all the way in Belgium, and I'm not going to pay those crazy shipping costs, so I'm glad that Drink Morning Singapore like imports them and sells them here. Honestly, please don't limit yourself to just Nespresso capsules because there are so many amazing flavors and coffee roasters to try from. I would buy the bags and brew the coffee. I've tried like over 80 different types of coffee and counting because I'm reviewing them on my Instagram page at Kishan Marcus. If you love coffee, follow me there for some coffee reviews. Okay, so before I get into the pros and cons and my concluding thoughts, if you are still watching this video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I am trying to grow this channel, and a subscription would really help me grow and hopefully monetize my channel so I can make better videos for you guys. I don't know why I brewed one in this glass for the video, and like look at that, it's so little. Okay. Concluding thoughts. Here are the pros. Here are the reasons you should get an espresso machine. Number one, it is extremely convenient. Coffee is pre-measured in these little capsules, and all you have to do is touch a button and you get delicious coffee in the morning. If you're someone who always has to go to work like super early and just need like coffee really quick, really conveniently, that's why I feel like you should get this. Look at the water tank. This is after making 3 cups of coffee when I was filming this video. This little thing here can hold about 6 capsules. I think it can hold more, honestly. You can honestly get away with like cleaning this like once a week. We love a low maintenance queen. The next thing is variety. The Nespresso capsule patent has expired, and because of that, a lot of other companies have access to making these pods for the machine. Almost every single coffee roaster, they will offer their coffees in beans, but also in an espresso capsule. And that just says something about the market dominance of the Nespresso machine. The next thing is it is compact. I usually have it over here on my counter space. Counter real estate is so important. Like, I need a kettle, I need a toaster, and now I need to have space for my coffee machine. And this takes up so little space. The next thing is it is an upgrade from your instant and French press coffee. Like, if you're drinking Nescafe, no hate, but come on, have like some freshly roasted coffee to kind of simulate like the cafe moment at home. At a touch of a button, you can have it. Gosh, I sound like I'm sponsored by Nespresso, but I promise I'm not, because here are the cons and why I don't recommend getting this machine. First problem with this machine is that the damn capsules are so small. I opened one up and I found that it only has like 5 to 7 grams of coffee on average, and it produces such little coffee even at the lungo, which is the 110 mLs. Okay, so this is like how much coffee in a lungo, and this is like the cup I would normally have my coffee in. Look at that. I would normally have coffee until here, because I usually have about 200 mLs of coffee when I do my pour over or French press. This is half the amount. So effectively, okay, also the table is very messy. Let's not look at her right now. She's a bit shy. Stop looking. And the tissue is really far away. Okay, we're gonna continue. This is real life. This is, we are messy, unfiltered. So what I would have to end up doing is using 2 capsules to make 1 cup of coffee. I know you're gonna say it produces very little coffee because it is supposed to be concentrated espresso. It is far from being as intense as an espresso. An espresso uses a 1:2 ratio, which means 40 ml of espresso would require 20 grams of coffee to produce an espresso. Well, when this makes a 40 ml amount of espresso, it's only going to use 5 to 7 grams of coffee in this thing. And if I have to use 2 capsules every morning for a decent cup of coffee, well, this leads to the second point. It is extremely wasteful. I tried digging up some stuff on Nespresso and their sustainability efforts, and it is a mixed bag. Some say it's good for the environment. Some say it's really harmful. Whether or not these pods can be recycled or not, energy is still used to create these pods, recycle them, and then pack them. Compared to a French press that just uses the beans from the bag in your French press, or a pour over with, even though it uses a paper filter, that paper is definitely more biodegradable than the aluminium or the types of plasticky materials that are used for these pods. Because of how much waste it produces, my guilty conscience stops me from having an espresso as often as I would like. While you can use reusable pods, I actually bought some, but I haven't gotten around to use it. I might do a video on this in the future. Even if you're gonna grind beans and pack them into these pods, you might as well grind the beans and put them in your French press or filter. It takes away the convenience of the machine if you have to pack these yourself. And number 3, the capsules are expensive. Bear with me here, I'm gonna do some math. I might be an English student, but I got an A for math for my own A-levels. So the math checks out. On average, pods come in a pack of 10 in a variety of prices. Decent tasting ones would set you back about $11. This is excluding shipping from the coffee roastery. For this price comparison, I will use the Starbucks Nespresso capsules because those are more readily available and I feel they are more popular. They cost about $7.30 for a pack of 10. And the bag of coffee costs on average about $14 for 250 grams. Assuming that you use 10 grams of coffee per drink, it will cost you 56 cents for the beans itself per cup, compared to 73 cents for an espresso capsule. I know you're thinking that this is a 20-cent difference. It's not that much, but 20 cents kind of adds up. If you have a coffee a week, you would basically be spending $1.40 more each week on coffee if you use a capsule. And also keep in mind that you're getting half the amount of coffee in this tiny little capsule. So if you use 2 like me to get a decent amount of coffee, because look at this. Yeah, I'm gonna need more to stay awake and do my assignments. That would be $1.46 per cup of coffee compared to just the 56 cents from a good old bag of beans. So, all in all, should you get an espresso machine? I personally feel like you should. Sustainability issues aside, I would strongly recommend getting an espresso machine. While I don't use this every day, it's good to have around for the convenience and speed for the type of coffee it produces. I also personally know many family members and friends who only drink Nespresso coffee in the morning, and they love them. I personally bought this for my mom because she would not be bothered to do a French press or pour over method for coffee. It's just so convenient, it makes delicious coffee that how can you say no to it? I love you. Yeah, and this has been my review of the Nespresso Essenza Mini. Most of the Nespresso machines that use the normal capsules, they all kind of have the same method. The virtual series is a whole other thing, but those are upwards of $300. So my wallet says no thank you. You can get pretty good coffee from this machine itself. So I'd recommend getting this over the virtual. If you have any other questions about this machine or the type of coffee it produces, do leave a comment in the comment section down below and I'll try my best to answer it as soon as I can. And yeah, this has been my review of the Nespresso Essenza Mini. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you liked it and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm gonna finish this coffee, get highly caffeinated, but I will see you in the next video. Bye!